Welcome back to FlyEaglesFly News, where we dive deep into every twist and turn of the Eagles season, analyzing every play, every decision, and every move that can shape the future of this team. Right now, the conversation around Kevin Patullo has been heating up more than ever, and it is impossible to ignore the tension that has been building around the offensive strategy. Over the offseason, there were plenty of headlines, and some fans took things way too far. From A.J. Brown dealing with his car being stolen in Camden to recent incidents involving egging at Patullo's house, the line between passion and crossing a boundary has never felt thinner. The situation serves as a reminder that while fans are invested in their team, taking action outside the stadium, especially when it targets players or coaches personally, can have serious consequences. It's crucial to respect privacy and understand that the people calling plays and performing on the field are human beings, not just extensions of the game. The intensity of fandom is part of what makes football great, but it should never turn destructive, because when emotions spiral out of control, the news cycles quickly pivot from celebrating victories to covering incidents nobody wants to be associated with. Philadelphia is a city that loves football, but even here, the safety and well-being of coaches and players need to remain a priority. Now, shifting the focus back to the team itself, Kevin Patullo's role as offensive coordinator has been under scrutiny, and for good reason. Some voices in the Eagles community have suggested moving him to the booth rather than keeping him on the sideline, a perspective that has strong historical precedent. When Patullo has worked from above in the past, it allowed him to maintain a broader view of the field and avoid getting caught in the heat of emotion that naturally rises during games. Players are in the moment, they feel every hit, every defensive adjustment, every crowd roar. Sideline coaching can make it challenging to keep perspective, and emotional decision-making, even with the best intentions, can lead to predictable mistakes or conservative calls that limit the offensive flow. From the booth, the coordinator has the opportunity to analyze coverage schemes in real time, anticipate defensive adjustments, and make recommendations without the direct pressure of the game's immediacy pressing down. This separation between field and strategy is what allowed Patullo to thrive when he first joined the Eagles coaching staff, and it could be a key factor in revitalizing the offense. During this crucial stretch of the season, statistical analysis and professional assessments reinforced this viewpoint, reviewing Patullo's history as a passing game coordinator. It is evident that his strengths have always aligned with an elevated vantage point. The controlled environment of the booth allows for careful observation of formations, defensive tendencies, and coverage adjustments, which can then inform optimal play calling. Remaining on the sideline, surrounded by the noise and intensity of the stadium, may actually hinder his ability to see the larger picture. This is not a matter of ability or competence, but rather about perspective and the environment in which his skills are best applied. Philadelphia has a team poised for success. The Eagles sit atop the NFC East with an impressive record, controlling their own destiny. And yet there is a sense of frustration when the offensive output fails to match the potential of the roster. When looking at the combination of talent on the field, from A.J. Brown to Devontae Smith and beyond, it is clear that the tools are available to dominate games. What remains is the need for strategic alignment and execution, which may well be influenced by the positioning and role of the offensive coordinator. Part of the ongoing debate also includes considerations around head coach Nick Sirianni's involvement in the offense. While he has maintained that no changes will be made to the offensive play-calling structure, there is speculation that adjustments to the scheme are imminent. Sirianni has acknowledged that tweaks are necessary to improve consistency and efficiency, particularly when the offense has struggled to find rhythm in recent contests. The balance between analytics and instinct, between aggressive play calling and strategic conservatism, has become a focal point of discussion. Critics argue that reliance on analytics in critical moments, such as opting for unconventional two-point conversions, may have backfired, while supporters claim that a measured approach to risk is warranted in a playoff race as tight as the one the Eagles face. What is clear, however, is that the team's trajectory depends not only on individual talent but also on the synergy between coordinator and head coach, and the ability to make adjustments that optimize performance while maintaining a cohesive offensive identity. The personnel choices on the field further complicate this dynamic. Tight end Grant Calcaterra has been highlighted as a weak link in the blocking schemes, which directly impacts the efficiency of both the running and passing games. During recent outings, Calcaterra has been primarily assigned to blocking duties, a role in which his performance has been inconsistent at best. This has placed additional strain on the offensive line and limited the effectiveness of designed run plays, creating a perception that the offense is underperforming relative to its talent level. Comparisons to other players, such as Latu, who are more adept at blocking, underscore the importance of aligning personnel with strategic objectives. It is not simply a matter of adding more receivers or pass-catching options. Rather, it is about leveraging each player's strengths to enhance overall team performance. Misalignment in this area can make a team look worse than it is on paper, leading to frustration among fans and coaches alike. Correcting these issues requires both thoughtful analysis and decisive action from the coaching staff, particularly when a playoff berth and potential Super Bowl contention hang in the balance. Philadelphia's position in the NFC East offers both opportunity and pressure, with a record of 8 wins and 4 losses. The Eagles lead their division, but the margin is narrow and every game carries significant weight. Maintaining focus, executing effectively, and avoiding unnecessary mistakes are critical as the season progresses. The playoffs are within reach, and with favorable matchups, the Eagles could capitalize on this window of opportunity. However, if strategic errors persist, or if personnel deployment continues to be suboptimal, the team risks squandering its advantages. Fans are passionate, and that passion drives energy in the stadium. Yet it also amplifies scrutiny when expectations are not met. The team's leadership faces the dual challenge of managing performance and perception, ensuring that players, coaches, and coordinators are all positioned for success, while navigating the pressures inherent in a high-stakes NFL campaign. Ultimately, the discussion around Kevin Patullo, the offensive scheme, and personnel choices like Grant Calcaterra is part of a broader narrative about how to unlock the Eagles' potential. Adjustments to positioning, role responsibilities, and game-day decision-making are all potential levers to improve performance. The coaching staff must weigh historical success, player strengths, and current performance metrics to determine the best path forward. Fans, while emotionally invested, must recognize that progress requires calculated decisions, not reactive responses. The Eagles' path to the Super Bowl, and potentially to repeating as champions, depends on strategic clarity, cohesive execution, and the ability to adapt without losing sight of the team's identity as the season moves forward. Every decision will be magnified, and the margin between victory and defeat will be measured not just in yards gained or points scored, but in the alignment of strategy, skill, and execution across the entire roster. Continuing on the Eagles' offensive struggles, it is impossible to ignore how the inconsistencies in the running game have magnified the challenges facing the team. Even with talented backs like Miles Sanders and the receiving threats lining up outside, the lack of reliable blocking and cohesive execution has stalled drives and kept the offense from finding momentum. Run schemes that should be simple, fundamental plays have often appeared disjointed, and the offensive line, despite its experience, seems to be struggling under pressure that might be partially self-inflicted. Placement of tight ends, adjustments to protection schemes, and alignment with the overall game plan are all crucial factors that influence how effectively a team can move the ball. And right now, the Eagles' offensive unit is underperforming in almost every metric. Each drive that stalls forces the team into third-and-long situations, which then dictates predictable passing attempts and opens opportunities for opposing defenses to anticipate plays and shut them down. The ripple effect of these struggles is clear. Scoring becomes inconsistent, field position suffers, and even the most talented skill players are left trying to compensate for structural inefficiencies. Part of this is tied to the relationship between strategy and execution, particularly when looking at Kevin Patullo's role. Moving him to the booth could provide a clearer, unobstructed perspective on both the opponent's tendencies and his own team's patterns. From above, Patullo can observe the subtleties of coverage, identify defensive shifts in real time, and anticipate the best opportunities for success before the ball is snapped. It is the difference between reacting to what has already happened and proactively shaping the game's flow. On the sidelines, the chaos of the moment and the need to interface directly with players can cloud judgment, especially in fast-paced situations. While some argue that being on the field allows for immediate adjustments and direct influence, the historical evidence shows that coordinators like Patullo thrive in an environment where analysis is prioritized and decisions are made with a strategic lens, rather than an emotional reaction to the moment. This shift could be pivotal in helping the Eagles maximize their offensive potential and maintain consistency through the final stretch of the season. The challenge of balancing innovation with fundamentals has also been a talking point among analysts and fans alike, experimenting with the offense mid-season, especially with personnel that has already demonstrated competence in past seasons, can be a risky endeavor, while evolving schemes is necessary to stay ahead of defensive adjustments. Doing so without full alignment with the player's strengths can be counterproductive, overcomplicating routes, spreading out the field in unconventional ways, or relying too heavily on analytics in high-pressure moments has sometimes backfired, leading to drives that stall or failed conversions at critical junctures. Football is a game of execution as much as it is of creativity. And when the foundation is shaky, no amount of innovative scheming can compensate for fundamental lapses. The Eagles' current performance highlights that delicate balance. Talent is abundant, but coordination, clarity, and execution are inconsistent. Fixing these gaps may not require a complete overhaul, but strategic adjustments that emphasize strengths and simplify decision-making could make a profound difference in outcomes. Personnel evaluation remains a central component of this narrative. Grant Calcaterra's struggles in blocking assignments, particularly in high-leverage situations, have drawn scrutiny and have become emblematic of the offensive difficulties as a whole. Blocking assignments are not glamorous, but they are essential to both the running and passing games. When these responsibilities are not executed effectively, it exposes vulnerabilities, reduces the offense's flexibility, and forces other players to adjust in ways that can disrupt timing and rhythm. Comparing alternatives like Lata underscores the importance of optimizing personnel deployment based on proven skills. The Eagles' roster is deep, but talent alone does not guarantee success. It is the alignment of roles, responsibilities, and execution that turns potential into points on the board. Making informed decisions about who is best suited for each role, particularly in high-pressure games, is critical for sustaining offensive productivity, especially as the playoffs approach and every mistake is magnified. FlyEaglesFly News family, smash subscribe and hit like. Your support keeps the freshest Philadelphia Eagles updates flying in. Drop your take in the comments and let's talk birds. Rumors are swirling through the NFL universe as whispers of a seismic shift within the Philadelphia Eagles roster have begun to surface. Sources close to the organization suggest that one of the team's most iconic stars may be preparing to leave the squad, a move that has left fans and analysts alike scrambling to process what this could mean for the team's future. Insiders claim that the decision, allegedly spearheaded by the front office, was sudden and has caught even veteran players off guard, fueling speculation about locker room dynamics and internal tensions. The player in question, a cornerstone of the Eagles' identity on the field, has been linked to numerous accolades and pivotal moments in the franchise's recent history. For years, they have been a fan favorite, known not only for their athletic prowess, but for a leadership style that energized the locker room. The mere idea of their departure has sparked a whirlwind of conversations across social media, with hashtags trending and fan forums exploding with theories ranging from contract disputes to personal motivations. Some insiders hint that negotiations behind the scenes have been quietly ongoing for weeks, though the timing and details remain shrouded in secrecy, while official confirmation is still absent. The buzz around the league is palpable. Competitors are reportedly monitoring the situation closely, aware that the ripple effect of losing a player of such caliber could dramatically alter the Eagles' strategy for the upcoming season. Speculation about potential destinations for the star is rampant, with multiple teams rumored to have expressed interest in acquiring the high-profile talent. Analysts are debating not just the tactical implications for Philadelphia, but also the broader impact on the league's balance of power. For now, the Eagles faithful are left in suspense, caught between disbelief and the excitement of watching a potential blockbuster move unfold. If the rumors hold true, the NFL landscape could be on the brink of one of its most unexpected and talked about shifts in recent memory. Fans will be watching every press release, every training camp update, and every cryptic social media post, hoping for clarity or perhaps bracing themselves for the heartbreak of seeing a legend depart. That's a wrap from FlyEaglesFly News. If you want the fastest Eagles updates, subscribe, drop a like, and turn on the bell. Sound off in the comments. Let's talk birds.